Okay, I ended up replacing actually this color, his nose color, with a different one because I saw that it just gives me an additional floss color only for the nose. Means like I need to buy additional one, which I don't need because I can use this color of the ear or his foot to use it for a nose. Right now, it's not extremely visible that they are different, sorry, the same colors, but uh, this one looks like a little bit lighter, but it is the same. And guess what? I think I like it even more. So this particular color I removed. It was like literally about 20 stitches. So I had 22 floss here, but I'm going to use 21, which is I'm happy about, and I'm going to remove this one from here. To do so, you need to make, just because again I'm using WinStitch Studio uh, tool, I'm showing you how to do it here. How to do it in another tools, I'm pretty curious. Maybe I can download some trial versions and see how to do it there. Maybe I can show. But here you just do right click on the floss color and then you select a menu saying remove active thread from the palette. It will completely remove the whole thread and the color, but if you want to leave the color in your list to use for something different on your design, but you want to remove stitches of that completely so you can just use it to your personal liking, so you just can remove the stitches from the chart, which will remove the color only from the chart but will leave it in a list. I don't need it, so that's why I'm removing the whole thread from the palette, and this will just leave me only the one which I'm going to use. Now, from here, I'm going to print this chart from my printer. So I'm going first to convert it into PDF, and that PDF I'm going to print. For I already did it a couple of times for other small designs which I was playing around. I can tell you one thing, that before you will do it, just sort these colors by number. It will be easier for you later. I mean, it doesn't matter how you will sort it. You can leave as is, you can leave by usage or by name or by color shade. I prefer to do it by number because I have some stash of floss already at home, and it will be easier for me to go by that stash and see what I already have and just buy those which I don't have. So that's why right click on the whatever space you have here, then you will select menu saying reorder the palette, and then you will just do click on the column name and it will do it you by number, and then you will select OK. So now when I'm going to convert it into the PDF, I will add the color key as additional page, and it will list me all of this in the order. My floss already organized by the number, and I'll show you that later, and it will be easier for me just to go row by row and see what is there and what I need to buy. So now I'm going to convert it into a PDF. I will click import export and I will select export PDF. This tool allows you to convert it into some charts which you can then plug it in those I don't know, programs, small tiny ones which it converts to, so you can use it for the embroidery machines too. I don't have it. I do it by hand. So I will do the export PDF. Other tools have something similar. If you're not using WinStage but something else, if it's not, of course, a trial version, usually trial version don't allow you to do it. But if you're still using some type of a version, usually they have menu saying export to PDF. So click on it and you will have this small configuration window which you can configure how many stages per page and so on. So the first type here is your letter, is your paper size. I'm using A4. This is, I know, European size. Letter is more American version, but they're pretty similar in sizes, so I will leave A4 by default. If you have a printer which allows you to print on A3, it's even better because you will use less paper, maybe, I guess. Um, these margins distance from the sides of the paper which you want to leave as empty. I will leave it by default, but I did play one time with the distance when I had an issues with printing. So if you have issues with printing and fitting everything what you need on a page, just play with these numbers. And of course there's other places you can play around with configuration, but try with this first. Symbols across the page. This is pretty interesting one which you might need. I'm usually using 40 because I'll show you when I print it. I will print you one with 50 and one with 40, and I'll show you the difference. It's actually the horizontal line, horizontal stitches, how many stitches horizontally it will fit on a page, not vertically. Vertical it will be more. So 40 will leave you pretty big boxes. It's very easy to see symbols. It's not very tiny. It's pretty easy on your eye. But you can do more than that to save paper, and I'll show you the difference. It has a preview at the end how it will look like without exiting the window. You can return back. I'll show you. You can fit the entire chart on one page. My chart is bigger. I know it will be bigger, so that's why I'm not going to do it. But if you have something small, I actually had one chart a rose which I was stitching for myself. It it ended up being just on two A4 pages. So what I did, I just said, hey, just fit me on one page. I switched it to landscape mode, and I said switch because it was more horizontally. So I switched it to and said entire chart on one page. So it's going to, if you will click here, it's going to ignore this configuration. And if you'll uncheck, of course, you need to come back and manually type. It will fit, it will be on one page, it will be a little bit smaller boxes, but it doesn't tell you how much horizontally it will fit in. It will just try to stick into one page. And you can explore only used area. I don't remember how it works. Maybe I will play around next time, we'll see. Overlap. This is when you have more than one page, and you don't want to miss. If you will stitch, if you already stitched everything on one page and you move to a second one, you probably saw on other charts that there is a gray area which shows you, hey, this is how many these are the rows from the previous page which connects to each row, so you can see without making a mistake. You can set up as many overlap stitches as you want. I put 3, which is enough for me, but you can put all 5 or 1 if it's helpful, because this will add to your horizontal length, and that's why I consider that much if you do a little amount here. Now it will, it will increase more pages. Style. Here you can say yes if you want to see a grid on the page when you print. You will check here. Do you want a symbols, or do you want a colored block, or you want colored symbols? So you just can select wherever you like. I don't remember. These mostly are here, these icons on the top where I'm using my mouse. So if you will try to click between them, it will change your picture, how it looks like in a different, like if it's in a block, if it's in a stitch, bead, and so on. I just use symbols, black symbols. I don't need anything else. I'm perfectly fine. Thick line widths and thin line widths. We know that the grid usually has these thick lines, which like 10 by 10, and which outline 10 by 10 box, and we have these thin lines inside, which like stitch by stitch, right? So this is the width which you like. You can make it thicker, you can make it thinner. Just play around, you can print it, see how it looks like. This my liking, I like it this way. It's pretty good when it comes out. And of course you can say dashed, you can change color. I'm leaving everything default. I'm not worried about it. And select these types. You don't need, of course, if you're doing for selling, you can put a copyright and a title on your page if you want. I would advise you to put a page number for easy navigation when you stitch. I would advise you to put center marks. It will put those red center marks, it will print it out if you are stitching from the middle. And row to column, I forgot what's that. I need to see. And of course these lines, I'm using regular one. I'm not worried about all the rest. The preview page. This preview page. So right now it's you're not going to have an owl. It's example, but you will have your design here split like that if you want to add it to your printing. Cover page. Cover page is, again, if you do something for selling and you have a regular cover page, you can upload it from your computer. It will add, so it will be like one big file already bundled together with your cover and footer pages and everything what you need. I'm not doing that because I'm doing my own separate key. So check the key checkbox, because this what will add you this key on as a separate page. If you wouldn't check it, it's just not going to add you. You will have to look here in a tool. What you want for the key, you want a number column, you want a name. If you want a strands, if I'll uncheck, it will remove me strands. I know I have 2 strands, but if you have a design which uses 3 strands or even 1 strand, you probably might want to add those. Comments, I don't know why you need it, but maybe length. It will, by default, will show you in yards, but you can switch to a meter system, like we'll say skins. That if it's helpful for you, just do it. For me, it's not helpful. I'm not professional yet, not that good yet, so it's not helpful yet for me. If you have not added, I'm adding stitches, the stitches number, because it will give me pretty good idea how much skeins I need, even though I can add these skeins and it will tell me. Usually I have like one color will be saying, hey, you need 1 skein for that, but usually it's less than that, so I don't need it. If you have a backstage in your design, definitely add backstage key. It will add additional page with additional table and colors for the backstage. And of course I have stitches. I already said, if you have beads, add beads. I'm not adding subtitle. I don't need it. Size. This is the font size. You can change the color width if you like. I'm sorry, not the color, the table column width. So I can make this a bit wider. Other is just like your notes if you have anything to say, and this is the thumbnail preview which I was talking about when we were talking about the size and we changing our stitches horizontally. So right now it will fit into 6 pages because I have 40 stitches horizontally. But if I'll, let's say, switch to 50, wondering how much that will, and we'll click thumbnail preview, it should resize me. I guess I can still fit in the 6 pages, but if I'll have um, let's say 30, still usually it will resize as 60. Maybe it's not working. It's not working. Oopsie. Usually it resizes, gives you how many more pages you have because of that, but alright, I don't need it. Color choice, you can put alternative, pale gray. I'm just using default. I'm not bothering with that. So this is the default. I will click OK. It will tell me where I want to save it. I'm going to save it in here. Yeah, sorry, I need to close this guy. Just because already everything pre-configured, I'm not worried about. I can say okay, saving this. As you saw, I already played with it, so it's asking me to replace the file. I'm like, okay, and voila, it's here. So as you may see, it has my thick lines, thin lines, and my design. It's 40, as you may see here, horizontally. If I'll go to the next page, I have 3 overlap, and of course it fits 40. That's why here is not full 10. And it goes so on, and vertical, as you may see, it gives you more vertically. And if you will scroll down, here is my key, which I sorted, as you may see, by number, and my preview in case if you want to put them together as one sheet, glued together, and see how it looks like. And all configuration is here. It's saying like page number, so it will be easier for you to navigate. So this is the final file which I'm going to print, and I'll show you how it looks like. And let me do one more thing. I said that I want to show you, oops, not this one. I want to show you 50 per page. Let me see if it's going to, it shrinked a little bit, still 6 pages, but it shrink. I think if I'll do like maybe 60, it will be less pages, but okay, I'm not worried about that one. So I will leave it like 1, 2, 3. I'll just print one page for you to show the difference. I still have my lines here just because the smaller didn't show up, but I'll print this particular, the first page for comparison, and I'm going to show you.
Okay, I have printed everything what I just configured. Ta-da! This is it. So this one is my original one, which I've been showing 40 stitches horizontally, and this one is 50. This is the example paper page which I printed. As you may see, the difference between symbols is not that much, but if you have a bad vision and you think this is too small, I definitely encourage you to use 40 stitches horizontally, so it's better on your eye, easier. For me, it's still good to use 50, but just for this purpose, for this video, I made the one with 40, so I'm not going to use the 51. So this is, as you may see, everything we would put the name, we have our page number, and as you may see how it nicely prints the overlap. You still can see easily symbols from the previous page where it connects to with the next page, and of course the vertical too, so it's like from here. So and it also printed me a key page. Just because, as you saw, I sorted it by number, it's easier for me right now to go with my stash because I have sorted it by number too, and just see what I have, what I still need to buy. Now, my stash. Just because I've been doing some small projects at home, I have a small stash for now. Experienced stitchers will consider this as small. For me, being a new, it is already big. It's not the whole store yet of the DMC. We are not there yet, and because this will tell me how much more I need to buy, which I don't have yet. So this is a file, the DMC file, which they offer for their so-called DMC bows. This is plastic tool thingamabobber, where you can just, when you buy a DMC floss, without rewinding it on the carton small tiny thing, you just can plop it all here without doing extra work. And then I'm taking this big part of the holder wherever the floss, so, and I put it on this sleeve with number out, and then I put it in these small pockets for each bow which this file has. And of course you can put it in the binder. It has these holes, so you can have it in a binder. I do have a binder, but I'm not put it in a binder. I'm like, Jesus, I need a huge binder for that. So nope, I'm using it like this. So my next you may see I have quite a bit of it, so you can open like here. If you want to put your bows like with the numbers to the inside, you can do it. I prefer it to the outside because I use it as a book, and I can look here without opening. But I think if you have a huge binder and you connect them like this, probably you want them on the inside. I don't have it, so I'm using it like this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my numbers here and see what I have and what I need to buy. And for example, I have this number 169, and I can go and see if I have it here, which is I do have this one, as you may see, but if I'll go, let's say, shell pink 223, I can say I do have that one too, and then 307, which, as you may see, I don't have 307, so that one I need to buy. So what I'm usually do, I will take a marker and I will mark that I need to buy this color. So I'm going through all of this and see what else do I need, and then I'll guess I'll have to go run by the store and buy it. You can buy these colors online too. The difference is in waiting time. Do you want to wait, or you want to eat ASAP? In my case, I want to eat ASAP, so I probably will go today to a store and buy it. But trust me, it's way much cheaper to go by the online store, because you can literally end up buying the floss and not shoveling out and wheelbarrowing from the art and craft store everything what is on the shelves to your destination and out. So I'll have to go through this obstacle course today. Hopefully I'm not going to bring a lot of trophies from the store and only floss. We'll see. Okay, I'm done with my homework, and this is what I ended up with. I probably have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. That's what I have, and this what I need to buy, the orange ones, which I do not have. So I'm going to run by the store. If you do this project for yourself only, for home, sometimes you may swap colors which are pretty close in shade, and you know if it's not going to affect the final design, you can do it. I just don't want to do it right now. I want to go with the original colors my tool showed, and I want to show you how it will end up, what is the end project will look like. So, but as an example, I want to show you, I think I have this, I have 745 number, but I need 746, which is off white. And I do remember when I was doing a project on a tool, when I was converting it, that off-white is pretty light color, and if you want to, you can swap with 745. If you don't want to buy 746, I'll show you how it looks like. I know it's not going to affect actually my final design. It's a little bit yellowish, this one. So I know it's not going to affect my final design because my bunny is a little bit yellowish shades and so on. My off-white is not necessarily needed there, but I will go with it right now because I want to, as I told you, I want to show you how the final project will look like with those colors which tool necessarily gave you and not swapped one. See ya.